Move swift as the wind and closely formed as the wood. Attack like the fire and be still as the mountain. Master Soon and Uncomfortable Game Shorts, all about positioning and the art of war in Mechabellum. Check out my channel for more guides and beginner tips. Great results can be achieved with small forces. That's chaff. Chaff is anything that's meant to distract enemy units. Fangs, crawlers, and wasps are great at this. The longer they keep the enemy busy, the more time your damage dealers have to fight. It can be helpful to have chaff split up as they move, causing more distractions in more places. Pay attention to how your units fare in battle and use the testing ground to try some scenarios. If you're interested, Surrey Mechabellum has done some work preparing guides for the community. Here's a few broad strokes to get you started. A broadside facing the enemy brings more arms to bear when they meet, generally a more offensive stance. Vertical columns sometimes last longer as they trickle into battle, but these aren't hard and fast rules. For example, horizontal sledges take longer to kill vertical chaff since they target the same unit and waste their shot. By the end of the game, you'll likely have waves of chaff creating a buffer for your attackers. Master Sun says, every battle is won before it's ever fought. The AI is simple. It moves towards and attacks the closest enemy. If it takes too long to turn and face something, it may opt for a target in view instead. You don't have to worry about calculating turn radius, that's crazy, but you should read some of these stats. Here's a couple things you can figure out easily with some simple math. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Here's 3 tips from those hundreds of battles. Crawlers move at 16 meters per second and saber-tooths move at 8. This means they'll meet up around double the distance from where the crawlers started relative to the saber-tooth. If units move at similar speeds, check their range. They'll reach the enemy in roughly the same position they were placed in. So position them to optimize which target they'll hit and check the range of their attackers. Before upgrading chaff units, look at their health and the damage of the enemy that's hitting them. Upgrading units doubles their HP and attack. If the upgraded health is above the damage being dealt, the chaff will last longer and might help your strategy of winning. On the topic of upgrading, don't be too quick to upgrade units or tech. If the enemy sees you upgrading or spamming a particular unit, they will do everything they can to counter you. Where you place your units determines when and where they engage the enemy. I used a lot of community guides to figure out what are the best answers versus a particular threat. Some of these come with experience, but you're in the right place if you want to get better. On the first round, and once you've spent all your supplies on deployments, you'll get a recommended placement button to see some ideas. I like spreading units out to avoid clumping. Grouped units are vulnerable to splash damage and powers like missile strikes. However, clumped up forces are easier and cheaper to defend with shields. Note that the middle border on the first round won't let you place units at the true midline. It holds you back 20 meters or 2 squares. Once the second round starts, you'll see the actual middle. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. An aggressive posture places units closer to the middle border, possibly getting to the enemy tower faster, but this can leave your flanks vulnerable. You might need crawlers, fangs, or a sentry missile back there to prevent heartbreak. Playing aggressive is popular, but also makes it harder to shield units pushed against the edge, making them more vulnerable and unable to stop sticky oil bombs, for example. A defensive posture is where you start farther back. It can protect versus flanks and gives you more space for powers gained between rounds. But fast-moving or long-range units can cheaply destroy a naked tower. For example, sneaky stormcallers can snipe the tower if there's nothing in front of it, and a distracting flank can leave you open to an enemy strike. Here's some great guidelines when placing units. Master Soon says, the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Study your enemy's board, don't rush. It's good to use all your free placements each round. Once you've bought your answer, place slower damage dealers closer to the enemy and faster ones about 2 or more squares behind. When lining up fangs, place your carry no closer than 2 squares left or right and 3 squares deep into the chaff. This helps you dodge sentry missiles and enemy fire. And sentry missiles can only hit land or air, not both at the same time. Once you're ready to start using flanks, remember these tips. Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. A shallow flank is a high flank, closest to your army, and a deep flank is in the back corner. Not only will shallow flanks pull the enemy towards them, it can also protect super aggressively placed units from sentry missiles as well. The blue ghost effect means it'll take 10 seconds to spawn in, which feels like forever since they build up their health from nothing. This only happens the first time. You can redeploy it within the same flank, but if you try moving it to the other side, you get the ghost spawn in time again. You can also sell a flank if it's been hard countered, leaving the enemy's respawn response at the back. Great if they're too slow to join the real battle. Remember, flanks have little space to defend. In the right situation, up-close units can get to work. Here's an annoying stratagem for you.
If his forces are united, separate them.
Deep flanks aggro units in a rectangle from the tower to the corner. Units placed here will even split up and face this flanking threat. Imagine putting one chaff deployment like Fangs back here. All these units will turn and face them. This could keep them busy for a while.
So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak.
Don't be afraid to fortify your own towers if your units can't defend in time. If you place your units here, that is 5 squares forward and 2 squares towards the middle, this pulls aggro from the front and back corners.
Master Sun says, appear weak where you are strong, and strong where you are weak.
Mass deployment lets you buy one more deployment for a small fee, but remember that this spreads out your XP growth.
If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will everywhere be weak.
Both players select from the same card options between rounds. Watch for powers like spawning wasps or crawlers. These can be used around your towers. Expect them in the back corners or in between. Without proper defenses, this can cost you a round. Other powers need different responses. Look, this game is tough. Keep learning and subscribe to Uncomfortable Game Shorts, maker of incredibly useful guides like this one. Then share my underrated content. I'll be eternally grateful.